Jeez, great way to start. I could have cleared my throat before I went live. Anyway, welcome back to the daily briefing, everyone. As if we didn't have enough to go over, we've got an IPO just opened. NCNO, very interesting company. Was supposed to open at $30 a share, opened at 70, and you can see real time it's hit 80. I mean, I don't know. It's the wildest market I've ever seen in 15 years. Probably hits 100, but probably hits 100 before we even finish this webinar. Anyway, that being said, I'm not saying trade it. I'm not. It's just a wild world we live in, I tell you. So, that being said, let's start with that. NCNO. This is what we look for. This is one of the reasons I'm here doing the daily briefing, is to try and give you ideas, things to keep an eye on, etc. And you guys know, if you've been on any of these webinars, any of these live streams, I'm crazy bullish the cloud. Listen, the cloud computing, everything moving there was happening at a ridiculous pace before the stay-at-home and before the shutdown. I mean, I just think about, bank branches, okay? And actually, I was going to bring up an article, and I didn't have time. I mean, bank branches are closing at a ridiculously fast rate before the coronavirus, before the stay-at-home order. So it's just going to accelerate these bank branches closing. It's just going to accelerate the move to stuff like NCNO, the worldwide leader in cloud banking. Trade IPOs day one, because you can't charge an eye on IPOs. It's nice because we haven't had many IPOs. They've all been doing the blank check. If you don't know what a blank check or a special purpose acquisition company is, that was the main kind of discussion on the daily briefing yesterday. All right, let's get to used to get punished in China. And remember, what we're doing here is, this is kind of an editorial opinion based read on the market. So listen, I grew up in Michigan. I still live in Michigan. I had uncles that worked at GM. I had cousins that worked at GM. My dad worked for a GM supplier, but they blew it. GM blew it, number one, back in 2008. They blew it with the bailout. They should have never been bailed out. They should have been able to fail. They've been making, and again, if you work at GM, I'm not like picking on you, okay? But going back to the late 70s, early 80s, they never got it back. They shouldn't have been bailed out. Then what was their solution? They decided to go all in on China. A communist country. They're not our friend. What are they known for doing? Stealing your technology and undercutting you. I think one of the biggest mistakes GM did was go all in on China, and they're going to pay the price for it. And it's happening now. Tesla, you guys know I talk about every day here, is crushing it in China. They got better cars. They got better technology. And anyway, if you're looking for an idea, a trade idea, I think these, Chrysler's pretty much pulled out of China. Ford has limited their exposure to China. GM looking to double down. I mean, I know I don't normally talk about swing shorts, but I think this is a terrible idea. And again, if you have a long time frame, and if you agree with me, I think GM could end up being an incredible short. And if you're long bias, what I want you to do, if you're long bias the automotive industry, focus on companies with limited exposure to China. I think we're just going to see that decoupling is going to continue and continue and continue. And as the decoupling happens and GM goes in harder, it's going to get worse and worse for them. So next theme we're looking at is very intrigued by this. Another China play, but United Kingdom banned Huawei from its 5G network. So again, another theme I'm crazy bullish about, 5G. I think it's going to change the world. And I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I'm a make lemonade out of lemons kind of guy. And I think, now I know there's all these conspiracy theories that say 5G causes coronavirus, but we're not here to talk about Bigfoot and aliens, okay? But my opinion is one of the biggest boons to the economy and to the world is going to be 5G because everybody's forced to work and learn from home. Another theme I talked about yesterday was e-education. Again, I don't know if my kids are going back to school. And especially in rural areas like I am, many people are going to be able to be just as efficient from home, if not more efficient. That leads to more happiness, which leads to more innovation, which means it leads to the golden age. I'm always going to bring this stuff back. If I'm assuming US is putting tons of pressure on Huawei. I'm guessing at some point the US is going to ban them as well. That opens up so much potential for non-China-based 5G plays, whether it be Ericsson, Nokia. There's a whole. I've got a whole list of them. Got a whole list of non-China-based 5G plays, and again, a theme as we head into the fall, and if this news flow continues to happen, where they're strangling or they're banning Huawei, 5G is going to happen. Somebody has to put the networks in, so keep an eye on those non-China-based 5G plays. Another thing is, we're going into disagree with this Barron's article. Barron's is saying that the second quarter earnings season is going to be ugly. Now, let me elaborate. I think that So I think the old world stocks, okay, retailers, I talk about that a lot, they're going to get punished, okay? I think old line automobile retailers are going to get punished, as I mentioned with GM. Airlines, cruise lines, it's going to be rough. But we almost never look at boring old line companies like, JCPenney or Sears or Bed Bath & Beyond or anything. I mean, all those are going to get torched in earnings season. My opinion is all of the stuff we care about as short-term day traders and swing traders, cloud computing, 5G, remote work, remote education, electric vehicles, all these themes that I talk about every day, I think they're going to... I think from a short-term day trader, swing trader perspective, this might be the most amazing earnings season we've ever seen because there's so much pent-up demand. And I think, and this is why I'm here, okay? What I'm trying to do here is counter, the mainstream media spin on things. And I think people are going to be blown away from earnings season because they believe articles like this. And again, I love Barron's. Don't get me wrong. Highly recommend you subscribe. I love Barron's. I read it every week. Actually, right here. Got this week's issue. I got it dog-eared. I got it marked up. Love Barron's. But there's so much of this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there. And again, listen, if you're a long-term shareholder of Bed Bath & Beyond, I would be freaking out about earnings season too. But if you're a long Mac or, Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Netflix, Roku, Spotify, on down the line, you should be excited about earnings season. So that's what I'm looking for. Focus on technology, hot trends, etc. Also, Tesla, on that note, this is a little bit out there, but we finally have a date for Battery Day. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. For poor Elon has kept all of us, waiting and waiting for Battery Day. It's officially September 22nd. It is obviously way out there, over 2 months away. But I wanted to bring it up just because, again, I am very bullish Tesla. And we finally got a date. So put it. And so Battery Day, earnings season. I almost forgot. This is a big one I want you to keep an eye on. So, coronavirus. This is a Bloomberg article. Coronavirus hastens the rise of the cashless economy. And actually, this kind of goes back to NCNO. Okay, I think dying. Now, people are, I don't know, but I'm assuming people are probably concerned with handling cash at this point. Not only was cash just like a hassle, 6 months ago. Again, if you're in a retail operation, the guy might have his mask on, but if he's handing you these dollar bills, that who knows what's happened to those? Are you gonna spray them with disinfectant spray? And I mean, this is valid. Again, if I was, in a retail, like a waiter or a cashier, so I totally agree with this, and these are plays I want you to keep an eye on. I think we're going to see some low price stocks and some higher price stocks move. Now, it would also be nice. It would be so cool. Wouldn't it be amazing if we had a cash replacement that was unhackable? Wouldn't it be amazing that wasn't tied to the government, was distributed across the internet? Man, someone should invent something like that. Somebody should invent something called a crypto. And I'll leave you on this. Listen, obviously I'm heavily on the sarcasm. But why is it we're like 8 years in to Bitcoin, and all I can buy is like drugs on the dark web? I don't buy drugs on the dark web, okay? That's a joke. but seriously, why isn't there a working cryptocurrency, especially now? So, that being said, all jokes aside, that is something I want you to keep an eye on, because I think maybe this cashless stuff will possibly bring a resurgence to Bitcoin and maybe some actual adoption. And listen, I like to have fun on these. I'm joking, but it's like, seriously, you might have some Bitcoin. Good luck buying something with it. I mean, there's like 3 online retailers where you can buy stuff, but that's it. So I would look for a bounce in Bitcoin at some point, and then remember, we have, from back in 2017, we had 50 to 60 low-priced cryptocurrency stocks. I would keep an eye for those to bounce back. So, all right, everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying these. explaining it. It's only the second day. But what I'm trying to do here is all I do is read finance, business. I don't watch sports. I don't watch the Kardashians. All I do is absorb information related to business, trading, and finance. And what I'm trying to do is just you can't go to a coffee shop anymore. You can't go to a bar and talk about finance. So this is like my outlet to talk finance with you guys. Since again, you can't go anywhere and do anything anymore. So, all right, everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying these. I will be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern. Remember, at 8:30 Eastern, we go over specific tickers. So, morning, nitty-gritty trade plans, specific tickers. Noon is more the macro, more the big idea, more the trends. All right? Short GM, long Tesla, cryptocurrencies, cashless based, IPOs like NCNO, and 5G, non-China based 5G plays. All right, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see y'all next time.